where the blade was truth, where kingdoms burned, and memory walks in armor still. This is Iron and Ash, the timer. Time is the continuous progression of existence that occurs in an apparently irreversible succession from the past, through the present, and into the future. But time was not always known. It had to be noticed first, felt, understood, before the clock, before the hourglass, before the wristwatch. Time began as rhythm, the pulse of breath, the passing of shadow. The first humans measured time in change, seasons, cycles, sleep and hunger, birth and decay. Cave paintings were stories, and they were maps, and they were calendars. Marks on walls to say we were here, marks to say we'll return. There were short forms, the time to boil water, the time between footsteps, and long forms, the time for the stars to tilt, the sun to fall, the moon to vanish. The Egyptians tracked the Nile. Its flood was a metronome. They watched Sirius rise before it did. A clock in the sky. Sundials followed. Obelisks casting thin truths across stone. The shadow moved. The priests read its arc. They sliced daylight into hours and shaped civilization in the process. The Romans made water clocks. Time flowed, measured by drips, captured in bowls, sculpted in brass. To command an empire meant commanding time. In monasteries, bells marked the sacred hours. Prayer divided the day. Even silence had schedule. But not all monks obeyed the chime. Some say the deepest monks, those who turned inward far enough, could see 5 minutes ahead, just enough to see where everything actually happens. Perception always lags behind the now. The body is a shadow cast by what just was. Time hides in the gap. The Vikings watched the sun. They used sunstones, crystals to locate the light even in fog. They sailed by light's whisper. To them, time was movement, action, return. The hourglass came, a loop of glass and falling sand. Time inverted, reversible in gesture, irreversible in feeling. Then came the clock, first for cathedrals, then towers, then homes. Gears spun meaning. Hours became labor. Labor became value. Value became self. With the clock came the schedule, work shifts, train timetables. The idea that being late was a sin or a weakness. Time became punishment and proof. Then the wristwatch arrived. It replaced the bracelet or the band of bronze. Now it sat above the pulse, where we check for life, where we count the heart. To wear time was to own it, to measure yourself. And the more expensive the watch, the more time you had. A Rolex was a crown, not just of wealth, but of freedom. Only the rich could afford to be unhurried. Then came digital, quartz and LED. Time in pixels, time in code, time in silence between signals. Then the smartwatch, the wrist returned. And now we wear more than time. We wear data. We wear self. We wear surveillance. We check the watch. Then the phone. We wake by alarm, sleep by schedule. Time became a god, and we its temple. Einstein shattered it, not literally, but philosophically. He showed time was not absolute. It bent with speed, warped with gravity. It swirled at black holes. It froze at light's edge. It broke its own spine to escape the future. The world listened, then built the bomb. Time is countdown, ticking toward rupture. The Manhattan Project carried time on its back. Split atoms, split seconds, split the age in two. Now AI appears, not in clock towers, but in servers. It writes schedules, optimizes tasks, eliminates inefficiencies. And with it comes something strange, a freedom we feared to name. For centuries we sold our time. By the hour, by the day. Time was value. You were what you gave. Punch in, punch out. But now, AI does the punching, and the punching bag disappears. Time may no longer measure us. It may no longer be the whip, or the cage. It may become circular again. Like the sun, like the clock, like the crown of the wristwatch. Time was once perception. Then it became control. Now it returns to perception, to mystery. Maybe time only exists because we measure it, and maybe we've measured enough. Maybe the next age doesn't need the tick. Maybe the next age listens instead. Maybe it begins. Just ahead. This is Iron and Ash.